So this is going to be my little talk about my history of everyday perfumes, and it's rather typical for me that all of my real favourites either are already discontinued, are being discontinued, or are really difficult to get hold of. I don't really know how I've managed that, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to start off with something that anyone of like my age group, like maybe 40s, probably recognises this bottle. Some of you might have worn it. This is, well, I mean, this is the Liberty Fizz version, but this is Nina Ricci, Liberte Ricci. This is a reformulation of the original standalone Liberte Ricci perfume, which used to be in a frosted green bottle. And you can see the juice is green. And then the reformulation, that was in a frosted bottle for ages as well. And it wasn't until a short while before it got discontinued that they changed it to the clear bottle. But so they reformulated this slightly, but to be honest, it didn't really make much of a difference to the actual smell of the perfume. It still was very much original Libelle's, with a couple of adjustments, but it wasn't noticeable. And then they had some flankers. So once they started bringing the flankers, they reformulated this slightly and renamed it as Liberte Ricci Liberty Fizz. This is absolute beauty. Liberty Fizz, Liberty Acidulee, Liberte Acidulee. This is all I have left of my favourite perfume in the world. So I am going to actually do one spray so I can talk to you about it today, because it's a very individual and special perfume that does not have a flanker. Nothing smells like this. So I'll read you the top, and I'll read, well, all of the notes. So for this particular one, so Liberty Fizz, this is top notes: tomato leaf, blackcurrant, orange, basil and mint. Middle notes: tomato, flower, freesia, magnolia and wisteria. Base notes: tomato, raspberry and fig leaf. So excuse the noise if I can just get out, which I was supposed to do before and then I forgot. I'm going to get out some little sprayers to talk to you about these smells. So all of these, they all have something in common, which is they're quite fresh, they're quite fruity, really, really easy to wear any time of year, but particularly good in spring and summer if you are someone who wears lots of different perfumes. Oh my goodness, instant joy smelling that. So, oh, just nothing smells like it. Hang on, I'm trying to get this to the right way around. Ah, there it is. Nothing smells as good as Liberty Fizz. Nothing smells as good as Libelle's. Now, if you look this up on Fragrantica, you will see how many of us are desperately sad that this has gone. How many people miss it. How many people are begging Nina Ricci to just bring it out again. I guess it stopped selling, probably went out of fashion, and this was the last kind of group of kind of made for younger, nice fresh perfumes that came out before this was discontinued and replaced by the little apple shaped perfumes. And I hate all of those. They all are too vanilla-y, too sweet, too childlike for my tastes. This is green, herbal, fruity, sherbety, slightly floral, and on the skin it actually lasts a really long time. I mean, this was this particular perfume, I'm pretty sure this was discontinued well over 10 years ago, and I spent hundreds of pounds buying these perfumes because I wore this as my signature and only perfume for 16 years. That's how much I loved this perfume, and how much I miss it is just, I can't even tell you. So it's sharp, but it's also sweet from the kind of, you know, in the same way that, you know, raspberries, they are very sweet, but they're really sharp. They are sherbety. This is pure sherbety, and the tomato in it just makes it so green and herbal. And the freesia, it's the freesia that I think really is the floral here that is more noticeable. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous from the moment you spray it. It dries down into something absolutely magical. And there's not been a perfume that is as good as this if you want a fresh, green, slightly fruity perfume ever. I've never smelled anything quite as good as this. Okay, so, but it's gone. There's nothing I can do about that. This one I'm saving for a special occasion and just so I can smell it. Oh, Olive Bells, I love you. Tragedy, absolute tragedy. Now, okay, I've got to get my phone up so I can then move on to the notes for the next one. So I gave up, as I said in one of my previous videos, I then wore In Love Again for quite a while by Yves Saint Laurent, but it was just 75 quid a bottle, and it used to have the tomato note in it, but it doesn't have that anymore, but it still has. There's some things about it that in a weird way remind me of Liberty Fizz, but they don't smell the same at all. They just were both comfortable on my skin. So I started looking for a tomato perfume, something that was tangy and had tomato. So I was literally doing a search by notes quite a few years ago now, and I came across, this was relatively new at the time, so I can probably tell you when it came out. Was it got the 2017? So I found this quite early when it came out. As a tomato perfume. So this is from Russia, and this is the problem, especially now. It's almost impossible to get in the UK because of the Russian sanctions while there's that terrible war going on. So I've got a spare, but I did used to wear this every single day, and this is blackcurrant and tomato leaf. I can't say any of these Russian words, and I'm not going to attempt it, but on Fragrantica and other places it's referred to Listya tomato, and it's by Brocard, a company called Brocard, which is a Russian house. They did this whole set of kind of nature perfumes, Smelt in Nature, something like that I think it's called. And so many of them are lovely. I'm still waiting until, because there's a blackcurrant one that's more blackcurrant forward, which I really want. And there's a strawberry one which I really like, which smells a bit like a natural kind of strawberry milkshake. There's another one with goods, but there's loads that I really want, and I can't get any of them because I wore this one for ages, and it's only recently I sort of decided I wanted more of the set. I've got samples of quite a lot of them, but I haven't got the full bottles, and I can't get them now because I can't get anything from Russia. So, but this perfume has some of the DNA of Les Belles de Ricci because it has some of the same notes. So I'm gonna just get the notes up. So the notes are tomato leaf, blackcurrant, thyme, mint, musk, orange, and jasmine. I can't smell jasmine in this, thank God. Right. Oh, also absolutely lovely. Now this one is sharp, but it doesn't remain sharp. It starts to just turn tangy. You've definitely got the tomato leaf. The blackcurrant is sharp, really nice. The thyme and the mint makes it really herbal. Again, I can't recognise it as jasmine, but there's definitely a kind of slightly flowery vibe to it. And it dries down, and thanks to the musk, it gets sweeter as you're wearing it. It develops into such a beautiful scent. Now, this one's not very long lasting. This one used to last all day. I never had to reapply this unless I wanted to in the evening, but like it would last the whole day, and you can smell it on your clothes for days and days and days after you've worn it. I really miss this one so much, I can't even tell you. This one doesn't last very well, but it is beautifully fresh. And because generally, even with postage, this is maybe 20 quid a bottle. It's like maybe £12 for a bottle, and then you've got to pay for it to come from Russia. So, but it's around £20 a bottle for like I think it's 100 ml, yeah, 100 ml. And it's just fresh spring heaven. Really beautiful smells. It does have that slight vibe of like a cherry tomato with the actual stem, that lovely aromatic herbally smell. But blackcurrant, mint, orange, definitely quite high up there at first. But again, on the skin, this turns into a beautiful, beautiful, sherbety, tangy, sharp, but also naturally fruity, sweet smell. Really, really nice. I will probably finish this bottle, but as soon as summer hits, this is going to be right up there on my I'll wear it all the time again list. But thankfully I've got a full bottle here, so I won't run out anytime soon. And if it gets discontinued, then I'll just take it easy on this one. Okay, so next, this is my most recent everyday sort of summery smell. Again, like now I've got more perfumes. I won't necessarily wear this all the time in the winter, but I have a suspicion that this has also been discontinued. Either that, or it's just really hard to get in the UK at the moment and in Europe. I've got quite a lot of these bottles stashed away, these 100ml bottles. So this is Jeanne Arthes Boum, and it's the green tea and cherry blossom one. As you can see, it's a nice hefty box, and it's these cool kind of like, I think they're supposed to look like a grenade, which I guess is what boom means, maybe, or they don't know if that sounds like boom as in B-O-O. This is B-O-U-M. I don't know. This smells pink, this one. It really does smell pink. So what you do is you have to just pull this bit off, and it stops the sprayer going, because it's got quite a silly little sprayer. But okay, let's spray this one, and then this one's really fruity. Woo! Oh, this is delicious. If you like sweet, fruity perfumes, but when I say sweet, not modern day sweet, not modern day version of sweet. If you like it reminds me of a fruity conditioner. Is it Garnier? I've got a Colour Protect conditioner that's in a dark pink. It looks like this is this kind of colour in a bottle, and it's got a beautiful, slightly flowery, slightly fruity smell. And this smells like one of those. This smells like a delicious fruity conditioner. So let me read you the notes. So top notes: tea, lemon and pear. Middle notes: cherry blossom, blackcurrant, rose. Base notes: peach and musk. So as I've said, peach in most perfumes, no thank you. If they're peach with loads of like florals and they're heavy, I find them too cloying. If there's a peach with vanilla, under no circumstances is that gonna like float my boat, unless there's something very special going on. But peach in this with musk and with the cherry blossom and the rose and the pear is magical. And because you have that aromatic tea note, this is really quite a special one. I really, really like this. I think I smell fruity, fresh and clean. And again, I think people will just think you've washed your hair with something amazingly fruity floral. I love this. And honestly, I think these are like under £10 normally. Unfortunately, like I said, I think these are really difficult to get at the moment. You can get them in other areas of the world, but for some reason this is really hard to get in the UK at the moment. So I'm not sure if that's because it's been discontinued. I hope not, because otherwise basically I'm showing you 3 things that you can't get. But maybe this is more of a if you're interested kind of situation. But yeah, this is my easiest reach, this perfume nowadays, just to smell absolutely lush. So all I'm going to say is, if you can't get hold of this one, I think that the Elizabeth Arden green tea pomegranate is quite similar to this. I don't love it as much as this one. There's something in it that's not quite the same. Or at least maybe the dry down isn't quite the same. But I would say the green tea pomegranate is kind of feels like a bit of a mixture of all of these in a way. It's got the kind of aromatic green tea and the kind of leafiness that's in these. It's sharp like these, but it's also got that kind of a bit of blossomy smell going on in it like this one. What I'll do now is I do actually have a bottle and I forgot to bring it through, which is very annoying. But everyone knows what the green tea bottles look like, right? I mean, it's again, and they're also really cheap. So let me just get up green tea pomegranate and see if my Wi-Fi is going to find it. There it is. Okay, let me have a look at the notes and see if it's anything similar to this, because actually I had green tea pomegranate and I quite liked it. And I was like, oh, that's the only flanker I actually like from the green tea range. And then I have got a tiny little mini one of this from the lovely little Jeanne Arthes, what are they called? Advent calendar that I got. That had lots of different Boum and one of the other ranges from Jeanne Arthes. I think they're called Love or Mi Amor or something like that. I didn't like any of those. They're not my kind of perfumes, but the Boum ones were interesting. So this one, I sprayed it, and I remember saying to my fiance, I was like, oh well, I mean it's very similar to the EA green tea and pomegranate, so I probably don't need to actually buy a full bottle of that, even though I quite like it. And then I smelt my arm again later where I'd put it, and I was like, oh, I'm having that. I am definitely having that. That's absolutely delicious. And I've got maybe 3 backup bottles of it, and this big one. I might have to be a bit more generous and sell one of them on, because I think I might have bought every single one that you can get in the UK. But anyway, so let's have a look. The pyramid here. So top notes here: pomegranate passion. This is for the EA pomegranate green tea. Pomegranate passion fruit, tangelo, bergamot. Middle notes: Earl Grey tea, violet leaves, white magnolia, divana. Don't know what that is. Base notes: raspberry bloom, mate. No idea what that is. Musk and moss. So I think you've got the tea, you've got the musk. I imagine raspberry bloom maybe has a bit of a cherry blossomy vibe, maybe. And then you've got some more kind of fruits up the top. So it is kind of reminiscent. So I think that I would always say, like, if you like this one, probably you're quite safe to try the EA, the Elizabeth Arden green tea pomegranate. But I just really like this one. It fully smells like a delicious fruity floral shampoo or conditioner. So to me, this is it's kind of soapy, but in the best possible way. Like, it's a really fresh, springy yumminess. But they're all really yummy. So yeah, these are my easy reaches. This is not one I really wear anymore, because I once this is gone, or when it goes off, I'm going to be quite brokenhearted that I can't smell this anymore. I miss it terribly. But these two are like easy reaches in hot weather when I just want to smell absolutely lush. This one lasts longer than this one, but again, like, neither of them are particularly expensive. I have an atomizer that I've, one of the pump atomizers that I've got with this in, and the same with this, so I can top them up anytime. But yeah, so yeah, those are my classic historic everyday perfumes.